Hey everybody, welcome back to my podcast. I am your host, Jada Services, and you are now tuned in to More to the Story, the podcast and show. First off, I can't even believe it's the season finale of season 2. Already? My podcast is like a child that I didn't watch grow up so quickly. I truly couldn't have done this, one, without baby. I had an idea to start a podcast, and one day I just came home to podcast equipment all set up for me. So thank you, my love. Number two, where would I be without y'all? Who would listen to me? As a creative, it's kind of like the only goal that we have is to be seen and for our work to be heard. So I thank you so much. Still praying for those who's been, negatively impacted by the virus. And I want to come as humbly as possible when I talk about the things that I've experienced the last few months. And when I say God has been showing up and showing out during this season. I know I'm not the only one because I've seen major wins and blessings for friends and family. But when I tell you, who would have thought so many good things would come during a time like this? I'm so grateful because the story, it really could be different. This could have been the worst time of my life, but it hasn't. Y'all know I have a story for everything, but I'm going to save our testimonies for book number 2. Yes. Book number 2 and book number 3 are in the making, and I'm so excited about it. I'm also working on an ebook. Look, listen, just stop playing with me. I've been working. Okay, so let's get into COVID-19 and new things. Number 1, let's talk about work because this is not the vision I had for working from home. I thought I was going to be chilling, working from home, not much to do, just living my best life. A lie. This is the most I've ever worked. Before I started in October of last year at this job, they would always say we work really hard here. Like in my interviews, they would say we work, really hard here. And child, they wasn't lying. That right there was one of the reasons why I tried to run from this job. Honestly, I was making $25 an hour doing nothing for 8 hours. Well, I probably actually did work at the most 2 hours of the day, and I might be exaggerating by that, but there was the job that I'm at now, they were just so persistent after my interview, and God told me like this: don't run from growth. You can't grow where you're comfortable. And honey, that's a whole word. I'm going to say it again. Don't run from growth. You can't grow where you're comfortable. So here we are. 9 months later, I'm working super hard just like everybody else. But I thank God for this company and the position that I do have. I'm making $20,000 more, a blessing. It's a nonprofit, mission-driven company, and I love the work that we do. During COVID, more than 50 people were laid off, just kind of out the blue to me because I thought we were doing great. We didn't have any funding issues or payroll issues, but I was wrong. So more than 50 people were laid off, and I'm just grateful that I wasn't, but God. I prayed so hard and was intentional while looking for a permanent position. So that $25 an hour that I was making, it was actually a temp position because the company before that actually closed randomly, and she referred me to the temp role that I had. So, that in itself is just a whole testimony and a blessing. But again, that'll be book number 2 or 3, one of those. But yeah. So I went to interview after interview, and I just trusted God enough to know that He had more for me. So what I mean by that is I told companies no. Here I am looking for a job, but I still had the confidence to tell them no because I knew what I wanted. I knew what I deserved. I knew that the work that I could do and what I was capable of. So I just wasn't settling. So I kindly turned down a number of offers, and I was firm with the salary I wanted. I did not back down. The job I have now, honey, let me tell you, they offer me more than what I asked for. And that's how God works, y'all. Able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. Do you hear me? Listen, God is so good. So I'm super grateful for that. And I hope that short story encouraged you. I pray I prayed. I knew my worth. And I pray that you pray in any situation that you're in. Know your worth, even when it comes to work. And say no when you need to. And do not run from growth. Because, again, you can't grow where you're comfortable. Speaking of working from home, oh my God, I've learned so much about me, about balancing life and, work life, what helps me be productive. I have to listen to either gospel while I'm working or R&B, like early 2000s R&B. And when I tell you I be so lit, but I get so much done. So music helps me be productive. I also realized that I work too much and I realized how busy I am. Fun fact. Of course, we're usually, at work and Cameron's at school. So being home all day together has taught us some new things, to say the least. Males are just different. Okay. All quarantine, this is me pretty much. Push your chair in, turn the water off all the way, close the fridge, throw that away, pick this up, don't forget to XYZ. You know what? So one day I was headed out and decided it was time for some payback. Let me tell y'all what I did. I took some plates, I took some bowls, and a pair of scissors, and I kindly set them on the floor. Just spreaded them out on the kitchen floor. I opened the fridge and I left it open. I pulled a chair out. I opened cabinets. I set snacks on the floor. And I left the house for an appointment. Do you know they had the nerves to call my phone and call me out on the stuff that they do almost every day? I couldn't believe it, and they couldn't believe I did something like that. So in their opinion, I went too far, and I politely told them, welcome to my world. Clean it up. So that's just a little fun story, and you gotta have fun at home. Like I said, men just different. Males in general, I just, whatever, that's that. But anyway, I love them so much. But other than that, we needed this time as a family. Our bond and our relationships are stronger. Cameron and I are where I always prayed for us to be, as a bonus mom. Baby and I haven't drove each other too crazy. His opinion may be different, but hey, just kidding. Kinda. I don't know. But yeah, so we still love each other and we still, going strong. We carve out time for family walks, around the neighborhood. Cameron's living his best life. He Fortniting it out, baby, let me tell you. And baby, he can be found in his own little world, working out or playing the game. When he first started playing the game, I thought it was the craziest thing. Like, how are your friends always online when you online? Until one day, I caught him inviting them to play the game with him. Do y'all know? Do y'all know this man explained to me the commitment you make to the guys when you play the game? Because I couldn't figure out why I had to wait when I asked him to do stuff. Like, why can't you just pause the game? And I just couldn't believe my ears when he explained the importance of not letting the team down, that the game can't be paused, and so on and so on. I thought it was just insane, but hey, I respect it, and I don't even bother him when the game is on now. I even brought him a nice gaming chair. It's a reclining chair, a massage built in it, like, it's real lit. And I also find my way to it whenever he's not home because I like the massage part of it. But anyway, yeah, so that's that at home. Oh, we also got our first family pet. We got a fish, y'all. I never wanted a fish. I always thought they was boring. But it turns out they actually have some personality. Like, if you talk to them with excitement and like a baby, they get to swimming fast. Well, at least our fish does. And my little sister fish, her fish is always excited and got personality. But it's crazy. I didn't know that they had personality. It's actually Cameron's fish, and he changed the name about 3 times, so I'm not really sure of his legal name at this point. I just call him Blue because he's blue. But yeah, so that's that with the fish. And honestly, I'm learning that we're still learning how to take care of him because, child, we almost lost him twice. Let me tell you. One, our entertainment system basically came crashing down, and so did the poor fish. He fell out of his tank. His scan charts started to change colors, y'all. But God, we nursed him back to health, and he is still here. Now, the other night we came home, and he was having trouble breathing. Now, it's crazy that I'm really telling this story as if he's a human being. But we noticed he was on the struggle bus. Like, it was weird. He would stay at the bottom of the tank, and then he was trying to swim, but he would just go crazy and just like run into the rocks and just head first. It was just all bad. So at 2 a.m., here we are, nursing him back to health, y'all, again. And where is his on the Cameron? Exactly. Nowhere to be found. But once again, we saved him and he's doing great. It's just so funny how you grow attached to pets, even a fish. And I was so sad both times, like thinking it was over for him. So yeah, tough life for the fish so far, but he's still with us. Moving on. So I've created this schedule for myself where I dedicate my time to God when I wake up. So I'm either reading my Bible plan. Well, I start with my Bible plan and I read my daily devotion book and I study my index cards. Yes, I made index cards because I'm trying to be a Bible scholar, y'all. Like, y'all don't even know how committed I am. I'm working on knowing every book in the Bible and a short summary of what each book is about. Because, y'all, so many times we fight the things that we go through in life physically and mentally when we should be fighting them spiritually. So I want to be able to go to a word when somebody, make me upset, or if something isn't going right with bills or finances. Like, I just want to know the word front and back. Now, before COVID, I can honestly say, sadly, I was fitting God into my schedule when I should have been fitting my schedule around God. So I encourage you to make room for God. Make time for God and don't rush it. Baby and I, we have our weekly Bible study now. I turn on YouTube. I grab my tissue because I already know what kind of day it's going to be if I'm watching cousin Sarah Jakes on YouTube. Like, that's my girl. Literally my favorite thing to do, y'all. I just search her name, pick a sermon, and I'm always blessed with a word from her. So I'm super happy with my spiritual growth, but I still have work to do. I also pick a few days out the week where I wake up at 5:30 or 6 just to work on my brand and my new business. Yes, my new business. My new business, y'all. So Jada Services Inc. is officially registered in Illinois. And I'm crossing all of my T's and dotting all of my I's before I lunch because I just want this to be right. I've been putting this off for so long, and God just keeps confirming, what my assignment is, who my ministry is, what I should be doing. And I just been so nervous, but here I am. I'm ready to go. So make sure you stay tuned for my new services I'll be offering, my new books, and who knew, a virus would set some fire under me to finally get all of this going. Note to self, you can be scared, just start. Do it scared. Just do it, no matter if you are scared. 3 weeks ago, I took a Pray-cation. I booked a hotel room for 5 nights, and it was just me and God. And that morning, God told me that I needed time to myself. I needed to be with Him. So that afternoon, I found a hotel, and I was nervous, with COVID going on, but I just knew that I needed to be obedient and just take this time to be with God. There were some things that I needed to work on with God. And I truly believe that regardless if you're in a relationship or if you're married, you also need that individual time with God to enhance your relationship or marriage, to produce new fruit, to pour from a new cup, making your relationship or marriage even better when together. I could have did this, at home, but I wanted to remove myself from my everyday life and duties at home. Sometimes it just needs to be you and God. I cried a lot. I fasted every day. I prayed. I worshiped. I went out and had dinner alone every night. I literally just studied the Bible, myself, and my relationship. Y'all don't even know how critical it is to study your significant other. Listen, I wrote down almost everything about him. What he likes, what he doesn't like, what makes him happy, what makes him sad, his dreams, his childhood, his favorite food, his favorite movies, literally everything about him. And I read over it daily. That's important to me because I feel like he knows so much about me, just the smallest things. Like, he's so about me, and I'm so about him as well. But it doesn't stop there. When you first date, you have to keep dating that person. You have to keep getting to know that person. You have to leave room for growth and for errors and mistakes. So every day you still learning your partner or your spouse or your husband. So I encourage you to continue to study them, prioritize that. So that's super important to me, and it helps me speak his love language, which is also very important in a relationship or in a marriage. You have to know your partner's love language, and you have to fill that cup every day. You have to know what makes them feel loved and what they like to hear. What do they like to do when they're listening, when they're not listening, body language, all of those things. So listen, I'm telling you, study your significant other. So let's get into this freshman 15, honey. Because, okay, I haven't gained anywhere near 15 pounds, but y'all know when the world went to the stores and bought everything up, like pretty much everybody ate all of their survival snacks within a week or two. I had to lay off on the snacks, y'all. I just stopped buying them because if you see them, it's tempting. I stopped buying them and I just started just throwing stuff away because if I don't see it, I won't eat it. And I did start to gain weight, and my stomach is so important. Like, I've been working on my abs. Listen. Yes, had to lay off on the snacks, to say the least. Now that I have more control, and pretty much only snack on the weekend, I can buy them and wait until Friday to go in on the Reese's and the ice cream and just the chips and chips with cheese, all that good stuff, only on the weekends. We don't eat beef or pork, so I had to get real creative in the kitchen, y'all. Like, what do we eat this week? Honestly, I'm tired of eating chicken and turkey all the time. Like, I throw in some shrimp for them because they like shrimp. I'm allergic to it. But I love salmon and catfish fillets and things like that and crab legs. So, that's kind of been getting us by, kind of mixing that in there with the chicken and the turkey meals. But it's hard not eating beef or pork, and I miss steak so much. But anyway, I had to get creative. So, yep, I've tried plenty of new meals, but my new favorite is cooking crab legs, y'all. I just started making them during COVID, and when I tell you my pan is fire, it's fire. Like, that's my favorite thing to cook on Fridays. That's a meal that I feel like is self-care. Like, I deserve this. I had a busy week. I'm about to make me some crab legs, potatoes and corn, and get me some wine, and it's just everything. But with all of that, that comes with working out. Who knew all I needed was COVID to get inspired and motivated? I ain't never worked out this much. And I never really had to either. I've always been a cheerleader, so we had to work out. And I never really gained weight. But times have changed. So I try to work out 3 to 4 times a week. Okay, more like 2 to 3 times, but whatever. And early in the morning is best for me, I've learned. I'm not an evening, workout kind of girl. If I don't do it in the morning, I'm not doing it. My favorite YouTube fitness trainer. Listen, I done ran into her and she just got me right. Her name is Johanna So. Last name is SOH. But when I tell you she's amazing, like I'm always dripping in sweat. The thing is, you can work out with no weights, jumping or running, and still burn a good sweat. Like I'm telling y'all, she is the truth. She is that good. Now, all of the workouts I clearly do at home. Like I started in March or April or something like that. But I clearly do these workouts at home and it works. Like she's been getting me snatched. Let me tell you. I use my Sweet Sweat gel and waist trainer and it's lit. Like I'm telling you, check her out on YouTube. OMG, oh my God. I cannot forget to tell y'all about my new obsession with tea. I cannot live without it. So when I got in corporate, I did start drinking coffee. Everybody else was drinking coffee, and then they always offer you coffee like for meetings and things like that. So I'm like, okay, let me try this coffee. But I would have to put a whole bunch of sugar in it and cream, and it just wasn't healthy. So, also one day, I feel like I have so much to tell y'all. But one day I didn't have coffee and I was just furious. Like I had an attitude, and I know that that's how people act when they don't have their coffee. Like they crazy. And I was just like, no, I don't want this habit. I'm not drinking coffee anymore. So I switched to tea. Now, I'm not picky when it comes to the brand, but here's what I drink. And I'm also obsessed with the cute mugs. Like, oh my God, the mugs be so cute. I have 3 that I love so much. Actually, 4. But anyway, so the teas that I drink every day: black tea with the lemon lift in the mornings. Now, black tea really wakes you up and it gets me going for me. And like in the afternoon, I have a really healthy tea, which is turmeric and ginger green tea. Love it, love it, love it. And later in the afternoon, if I need like a pick me up, I'm drinking black tea again, because again, that wakes you up. Now, when I feel heavy after eating dinner, or I done had snacks and stuff and just don't feel good, I drink me a nice little detox tea. And I have 2 flavors, original or peach. And I usually drink those in the evening, or again, to clear out that stomach, sis. So yes, detox tea. And if I want like a nice kickback, like something soothing, but also it has a nice kick to it, I really like the throat coat tea. Like that's one of my favorites, and I love the flavor. So yep, that's the tea, y'all. That's the tea. Do you get it? You see how I did that? That's the tea. Anyway, okay. Back in April, I was visiting. Oh, this is a different story, y'all. Okay. I got so much to tell y'all. Like, I missed y'all so much. And this is a season finale. You need to know what's been going on and more to the story's life. So back in April, I was visiting different churches. I was trying to see if we wanted a new church home. In doing so, I said, you know what, God? I'm going to just put my little tithe of money into my savings account, since I'm not at my church home. I don't really want to tithe to just these random churches. Wrong. So I decided that when we find a new church home, if we do, then I'll just tithe it all, God. Don't worry about it. You know, I'm putting it in my savings. I'm not spending it. I went about my business. I did that for about a month, and God told me to release in order to receive. Period. Release the money you've been saving in order to receive. So I was like, okay, you right, God. It's not your fault that, I'm visiting different churches. Regardless of where you are, you tithe your 10% and then some. Whatever you decide to tithe, that's, how you do it, as long as it's 10%, but whatever. So the next Sunday, I went to church, and, God told me to release. So that's exactly what I did. So that next Sunday, when I went to church, it was another church that I visited, and I tithed my hundreds of dollars. When I tell you, not even 2 weeks later, an old business partner of mine reached out and said she couldn't find anybody to do the job or partner with her. Even though I'm working full-time, would I be interested? I said, sure. I'm always down for multiple streams of income, as long as, I can make my own schedule. So she said the contract would start in April. I would be chief editor and writer, managing all of the projects, making about $600 a month. Do y'all see how God works? I mean, just look at that. Not even 2 weeks later, I released, and now God is giving me more. I had to make room for what he was trying to give me for this new blessing. I also had to show him that he can trust me with what he gives me. If I'm blessing you financially, I need to be able to trust that you're going to give back, that you're going to tithe your 10%, So she said that I would be making $600 a month. When I tell you, obedience is key, y'all. Like, obedience is key. There is no but. There should be no fear. Like, just trust God. Hearing God's voice and moving is key. Now, while I was told an extra $600 a month, I'm really making about $1,600 a month. $1,600 a month. Now, I am not in no shape or form boasting about me and my income. I'm not. I just want to show you how important it is to be obedient, how good God is, and what you can receive when you make room for it. what you can release, what you should release in order to receive new things. So this isn't about me. This isn't about, this $1,600, because I know God has even more than that for me. But I have to continue to show him that I trust him, that I'm obedient, that I will listen to his voice, that I will take action. And we have to be mindful of that. Thinking about things that we're holding on to. It can be friendships, it can be relationships, it can be old jobs, it can be just, living in the spirit of fear. Like, no, we have to release in order to receive. If you want new things, you have to change your old ways and your old habits. So I'm going to just leave that right there. God is so good. Moving on now to this. This is the good part. Yeah, I mean, all of this is the good part, of course, but I'm just so happy about where I am right now. And not even right now, I'm not going to speak that, but happy about where I am and how far I've come when it comes to God calling me on, this very specific assignment. Actually, since releasing my book, and, I've been hesitant, I've lacked confidence in it, because it's like, God, you chose me? Like, are you sure this is what you want me to do? Like, shouldn't I have, a degree in this, or, I don't know, a certificate? But y'all, the God we serve, if he's called you, he's already equipped you. We have to get out of the habit of disqualifying ourselves. One small yes will take you so far. Doors will be open. People will be placed around you to help you produce what God has called you to do. Like, I am a living witness. So finally, I said yes. I know God be like, this girl's so hard-headed. Like, how many signs does she need? But finally, I said yes. And I cannot wait to reveal everything to you. I also had to ask God, to forgive me for stalling, for, lacking confidence, for not trusting him, and for operating in fear and not in faith. So, I had to pray over those things and ask for forgiveness, because we just have to trust God. That's all I can say. Being obedient, trusting God. God will give us sign after sign after sign, and we still go and do something else and then wonder why this isn't working. What's my purpose? What was I called to do, when God keeps showing us? So I encourage you, I encourage you to be obedient, to listen to God's voice, to operate in faith and not in fear. Now, I was praying, asking God for clarity, confirmation, and confidence. Someone reached out to me on Instagram from South Africa. Did y'all hear what I said? Africa. He said my name came across their media table and they wanted to interview me. They asked me to join this panel. Do y'all know that I was the only person from the United States of America on this panel? From the United States of America. Do you hear me? Everybody else was from South Africa, and I couldn't think of no other reason of how I got to that media table besides God. Nobody but God. So God pretty much is saying, oh, so you said you need clarity, you need confidence, say less. Look what I can do. I have your name in another country, a country you haven't stepped foot in just yet. Your name was placed at a table that you haven't even heard about, in front of people that you didn't know about in another country. Don't tell me what God can't do. These are the signs that I'm talking about. Like, right then and there, I should have got up and started running. But I was still praying, still operating in fear. Like, you sure, God? Like, am I ready? Am I qualified for this? Don't think like that. Please do not think like that. So, before that, I'm just going on with confirmation. Before that, I was Googling my book. And without even knowing, my book is now available online with Target and Walmart. So now I'm freaking out. I didn't call baby in the room like, how is my book at Walmart and Target? The publishing company didn't tell me about this. Did somebody buy my books in, big bulk orders, and now they selling my books? Like, I was pissed and I was scared. Like, somebody is getting over on me. So I called the publishing company and they didn't even know. He mentioned how hard it is to get accepted in Walmart and Target bookstores, mainly Target, he said. So he had me check a few different authors and, that he's published, but nope, your girl was the only one. talk about confirmation. I need to stop playing with God, don't I, y'all? And walk in my purpose with confidence, because he not letting up. Like, he just keeps blowing my mind. I'm at the point again where I have said yes. I'm doing whatever he tells me to do. Sometimes I don't know what it looks like or how I'm going to get there or the wording for it or the content for it, but I'm just going to keep pushing and trusting God. And I encourage you to do the same. So I know it probably sounds weird, just I don't want to take away from the fact that so many people have lost so much during this time and, during COVID-19, and not even just so much, but family members. Like, I know so many people who have passed from COVID, and just the different people that I've seen on social media who's lost family members and friends. So I'm not trying to be I'm sympathetic towards it, and I'm aware of it, and I'm praying for everyone. But I also want to remind you that God is still in the midst. Like, God is still a good God. God has not stopped working. And even when, this could have been just a terrible time, and it hasn't. God has still been blessing me and so many other people. Like, I've seen so many stories on social media, so many accomplishments. My sis Lauren just gave birth to her beautiful baby boy, and it's just so many good things that has been happening. And a lot of people have also been saying the same thing. Like, this has been such a peaceful time to get back in touch with our spirits and recollect and process our thoughts and emotions, to slow down, to spend time at home, to create, to save money. Let me tell y'all something. Don't even get me started. I didn't even want to go back out to the stores. I think it was a Friday when the stores just randomly opened. And I was in there spending money, and it was just like, no, I don't want to spend no money. Like, this is the most that I've ever saved. Like, saved in my savings account because of COVID. Nothing was open. I'm not an online shopper except for Amazon Prime. Like, I'll go crazy on Amazon Prime. But I've saved so much money. Our household has saved so much money. So, listen, COVID has, unfortunately, in different ways, has been a blessing. This whole quarantine, I won't say COVID, but quarantining and staying home and saving money and just needing this break, this mental break where we could just recollect, where we could slow down, where we can create, or we can decide not to do anything at all, because we've been busy. So that's that. I mean, there's so many stories that I can share about God and the many blessings he's given us within this short time frame. But the real good stuff, like the real tea, I'm saving for book number 2. Y'all know there's always more. I just want to say before I go, I still can't believe this is episode 12, the season finale of season 2. Like, where does the time go? Thank you guys. Thank you so much for just another great season of More to the Story. Thank you for your love and your support, for always listening to my stories and the amazing guests I bring on. I couldn't have done it without my guests. So a huge thank you to all of you for your bravery and just having the courage to talk about your tests and testimonies. Please make sure you are following me on social media so you don't miss the launch and release of my new business, my merchandise, my products, my upcoming books, my affirmation t-shirts. Like, I have so much in store, and I'm just waiting to launch. I'm a perfectionist, so I just want to make sure I have everything lined up. So make sure you follow me on social media. My Instagram is Jada Services. My Facebook fan page is Jada S. Moore. Twitter, I'm Jada Sharise. And then my website is jadasharise.com. If you go to my website, you are in for a surprise. I haven't talked about that part, but brand new website. Shout out to Latanya for hooking your girl up. Like, she is such an angel. Oh my God, I love my new website. The colors and everything. So it's been great working with her and partnering with her. So check out my website at jadasharise.com. You'll see some surprises there and, things that I didn't talk about. And you'll also see some information about my new business. So check out my website. Again, make sure you're following me on social media. And I just want to say, I pray that you were inspired and encouraged and motivated today. I literally plan my content out to just show what God is capable of, what he's doing. Although it may look bad, God is still a good God. And when I think of my content, I really feel like God do things in my life and it's like, never run and tell that. Like, you need to tell people what I'm doing, because sometimes people only believe by seeing, and it's been crazy. Literally, it's hilarious to me because so many people have been reaching out to me and they want to connect with me and be where I am spiritually from the outside looking in. And it's funny to me because it's like, y'all have no idea how hard I'm studying at home. The time that I carve out in the morning and at night to just read the word, to do different Bible plans, to, highlight, to research, to study my index card. So it's amazing how nobody sees the work that you put in, but sometimes people see your outside appearance. And it's like, you have no idea what it took or what it takes to get there. So it's funny because I feel like people see me at a level that I don't see myself at. I feel like there's always work to do, and I'm still learning and still growing. But that's just how God works, y'all. But I pray that you were inspired, encouraged, and motivated today. And I'm looking forward to season 3. Season 3 will not be audio, I promise. This will all be visual episodes, and I'm so excited, y'all. It's so much stuff that I'm going to share within the next couple of months and within the next books, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But anyway, I will let y'all go. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your love and support. Until next time, because there's always more to the story. Season 2, that's a wrap.
It wasn't the way that he touched me, it was the way that he talked to me. It was the way that he looked at me, wanting to connect with me mentally. It was the questions he asked in return, the time he put in studying me, willing to learn. It was him repeating what I said to get a better understanding and to clarify. It was the effort he put in.